Funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s.
Did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah, he was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It's probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean? It definitely was some snake shit.
The streets are buzzing louder than ever, and Jay-Z's name is sitting right in the middle of the storm like a lightning rod catching every spark. Folks online are saying his world feels shaky right now, especially after Gene Deal stepped out with a viral story that had the whole internet rewinding and listening twice. According to the chatter, old beefs, old alliances, and old secrets are crawling back into the daylight, and people are acting like the whole deck around him is collapsing at once. What really set the internet off was Gene Deal claiming certain names from back in the day never let things go, and the digital world ate that up like fresh gossip on a slow news day. The way people talk online, you think a whole list of old rivals suddenly woke up and chose revenge, even though none of this is confirmed, and it's mostly folks connecting dots that never belonged together in the first place.
Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince. These four gentlemen that got together are going to put up $30 million apiece.
Contemplating doing the first black-owned distribution company.
The thing is, they wasn't trying to let us in the door. That's why I don't trust these people.
When Suge came up with the idea, it was a brilliant plan. He said, whatever the recording funds, 10% goes to the union. And each time you do a new album, 10%. It was going to be some get down or lay down shit. Shortly after that, the feds raided me.
All of us were being hit up around the same time. Someone left that meeting talking about our move.
There was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those Leo Corner to let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do. They told Jay, if you help us get rid of Dame, we're going to make you the president of Def Jam.
Why don't we stick together and they got to come to us? For some reason, everybody just wants to do everything on their own. They don't understand collective economics.
Then came the talk about Beyonce keeping her distance, which went viral just because her name was attached, even though no real proof was ever shown. Just pure internet creativity and imagination running wild. And when the conversation shifted to Diddy, things got even more chaotic because people started treating every rumor like it came from some secret diary. Social media began spinning stories that Diddy wasn't rocking with Jay-Z anymore, claiming Jay didn't support him during his legal fight, even though none of that has been backed up by anything official. Still, the online world doesn't wait for facts. Once a story sounds dramatic enough, it takes off like a runaway train. And the old talk about Diddy and Jay-Z being cool or not cool resurfaced again, with Gene sharing how back in the day he heard Diddy wasn't exactly friendly toward Jay-Z during certain industry moves. Fans love revisiting those early 2000s stories, especially the ones involving J. Rule, studio politics, and behind-the-scenes competition that shaped the rap game. Social media loves turning old disagreements into current drama, and the way people talk, you'd think every label meeting from 20 years ago was some type of conspiracy session. According to Gene, there was energy between powerful people, but nobody truly knows the intentions behind it. Just that the music industry is full of big personalities, and big personalities create loud stories.
You had an incident with Rivera, you know, where you pled guilty to charges of, I don't remember exactly the charges, assault with a deadly weapon?
They would have never let me be out here with you if that was the case.
You stabbed him. Okay, all right. Do you feel like that was a mistake in hindsight?
I believe that was the greatest thing ever. This is gonna sound crazy, but I believe that helped me. You know what I'm saying? Because that put the brakes on everything. That let me know that no matter how successful you are and how much you're on your road, it can all stop. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you still kids from Marcy Projects, and you know, not everybody, they waiting for you to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? We let you just go ahead and self-destruct yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that right there was a moment I was like, okay. You know, and I'm glad they didn't have to take for me to be in jail for like 7 years to be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That moment was like, okay, all that stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not going to parties with 30 people, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not putting myself in that position no more.
Yeah, when you look at Dame still kind of living that life, you know, you could find Dame at the club, you know.
Yeah, but he's with 30 models. It's a little different. I was with the hood.
Yeah, okay. That's a good point. He's hanging at a different kind of club.
What kept the conversation flaming was Gene calling the whole situation snake energy, which the internet immediately took and ran with. Suddenly, everybody was acting like they had inside knowledge of 90s and early 2000s business decisions they were never in the room for. The discussions online started painting Jay-Z like some mastermind in a movie, even though there's no real evidence backing any of that up. But online, it doesn't matter. If the story is spicy, it spreads fast. Jay-Z has handled storms before, but this one hit different because it wasn't just one rumor. It was dozens dropped at once, all swirling, all trending, all exploding across the internet like digital fireworks. And every time the smoke started to settle, Gene Deal would drop another detail from his memories and the internet would go right back into chaos again.
Rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
The next wave of online drama came when people started digging up old industry stories involving Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, Jay Prince, and a rumored attempt to form a major black-owned distribution network back in the day. Gene Deal repeated an old claim that someone from that meeting allegedly leaked information, and the internet quickly decided to plug Jay-Z and Diddy's names into that equation, even though none of that has ever been confirmed by credible sources. Social media investigators love filling in blanks with their imagination, and once those names got attached, the rumors exploded like a match in dry grass. Folks on YouTube, TikTok, and comment sections started acting like this was some hidden chapter in music history, even though the real truth behind those conversations is still unclear and cannot be proven. Online storytellers jumped even deeper into the old Jay-Z stabbing case from 1999, dragging out every dusty detail the internet could find. Some fans pointed out how the case ended with a plea to a lesser charge, while others repeated claims that the victim insisted Jay-Z didn't touch him. It turned into a giant back and forth debate about why someone would stay quiet, why the case wrapped the way it did, and whether the industry protected certain people. But again, these were only opinions floating around online with no verified answers. Then the internet found a clip where Jay-Z spoke years later saying the moment slowed him down, and some people twisted that into a brag even though he was clearly reflecting on a life lesson. The story grew legs not because new facts came out, but because fans love rewriting history every time a new rumor hits the timeline.
What's the story behind Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room because of Pac?
All right, what happened was that I guess Pac had got whiff that Jay-Z was in town. Well, you know he gonna do a show because Jay-Z, he doing a show. But you gotta realize Jay-Z had became an enemy of Pac because I think he had said some was gonna do a song with Big or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards. So Jay is now Pac's enemy too. So Chaz Williams, who was over Black Hands. Black Hands was one of the labels who did that Black Gangster had every artist in New York on. And Chaz, who is now getting into the music business, has become a music executive. And he was once a former gangster who was on American Gangster BET because they had him down for robbing 161 banks. That's what they put in their program and everything. But Chaz was a gangster in New York City that became a music executive. So he gets a phone call saying that Jay is not gonna come out the room because Tupac threatened him. So he's not gonna do his show. Can he make some phone calls, you understand, to get Pac off the bullshit? So I think he may have talked to Big D, and Big D and Eric B called Suge, and Suge was laughing, saying that wasn't him. Because they tried to make it seem like it was Suge that was doing it, but it was Pac. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out his room.
So that story was really true about Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room.
Yeah, come on, man. He was scared.
Gene Deal added more fuel with his Cancun story, saying he almost stepped to Jay-Z over a disrespectful exchange at a club door. That right there took off instantly because fans love any old school backstage or nightlife conflict involving big names. The internet exaggerated it into something huge, even though Gene himself said he backed away to keep peace for someone he respected. But online, the mild version never trends, the dramatic one does. Then came the most viral twist. Gene saying there were rumors about Jay-Z being nervous around Tupac back in the day when the East versus West tension was at its peak. Online users started painting pictures of Jay-Z hiding out in a hotel room while heavy names tried to calm things down. Even though all of this came from one man's recollection, people instantly treated it as a blockbuster movie script. Through all the talk, one thing was clear. Folks weren't spreading facts. They were spreading stories, emotions, and memories from decades ago, treating them like breaking news. It didn't help that the story involved Tupac, a name that automatically turns any rumor into instant viral content. Fans began debating whether the encounter ever happened, who said what, and whether Jay-Z was really nervous or if the situation was just chaotic for everyone involved. None of it has been documented by official sources, but the online world rarely waits for confirmed truth. They just want a story that sounds wild enough to repeat. As the conversation grew, social media began shifting focus toward Jay-Z and Diddy's long history in the industry, with old clips resurfacing showing moments people interpreted as signs of closeness, rivalry, or strange energy between them. Someone dug up a video where Diddy playfully slapped Jay-Z on stage years ago. And suddenly, the internet treated it like evidence of some hidden tension, even though it was clearly a friendly interaction at the time. Comment sections everywhere were flooded with people debating whether they were genuinely close or just business associates who crossed paths often due to their influence and success in the industry.
You're hearing Diddy everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
He produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. You know, he gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. You know, he had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And you know, I really kind of, lost contact with him and really stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94. Yeah.
Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for.
Gene Deal added to the swirling speculation by mentioning how people back then joked with each other about relationships and friendships, feeding into the narrative that both men operated within the same tight circles. Then the internet dragged up old stories claiming they shared mutual connections in social spaces, making people assume there were deeper ties between them. But again, none of this has been confirmed. It's just people using nostalgia mixed with dramatic editing to create shocking content. The internet doesn't need proof. It only needs a clip that feels mysterious enough to trend. But then came the biggest explosion. People online started comparing Jay-Z's current situation to Diddy's legal battles, as if the two were somehow linked, even though there's no official indication that Jay-Z is under investigation or facing any charges at all. Social media loves pairing names together when one big headline drops, especially if those names once shared stages, studios, or business dinners. The more Gene Deal talked about secrets and unspoken history, the more people twisted his words into something larger than intended.
To knock his head off, because he was being disrespectful. We was in Cancun and he had a personal assistant from my block named Laura. And he had brought like 6 people to the club with him, and he was only supposed to get 3 people in. I was running the door at Daddy-O's from Industry Entertainment. They just told me Jay-Z only get 3 people in. So I'm at the door. I said, yo, Jay, you good? And 3 of your other guys, but the other 3 got to pay. So then he said, Laura, handle him. And at that time, the type of dude I was, you couldn't tell no woman to handle me when I'm talking to you as a man. I said, who you talking to like that? You telling her to handle me? And then me and him, he didn't say nothing. He just turned to the side. And if he'd have turned back around, he'd have got his head knocked off. But Laura told me, yo, Gene, please, Gene, you gonna make me lose my job. You know what I'm saying? And because, one, she was beautiful, 2, she's from our block. I wasn't gonna do that to her. So I gathered myself, stepped away from the situation, you know what I'm saying?
And while the rumors about Jay-Z's alleged past relationships resurfaced, all responsible platforms reminded viewers these were unverified claims and should be taken strictly as allegations. Many commentators immediately clarified that none of these stories have been confirmed in legal documents and should not be treated as factual wrongdoing. Still, the viral machine doesn't care. It amplifies anything that sounds shocking, mixing entertainment with speculation until people forget where the original story came from. The talk got so wild that some fans began suggesting Jay-Z's empire could be in jeopardy, even though there's no official sign of that happening. They compared him to Diddy, who is facing real legal consequences, and acted like Jay-Z was next in line, even though the situations are completely different. Social media saw one person fall and assumed another powerful figure must be next because dramatic storytelling demands a sequel. This is how online legends are built, not through facts, but through repeated clips, old interviews, emotional memories, and dramatic thumbnails that turn speculation into viral entertainment. And Jay-Z, being one of the biggest names in the culture, makes an easy character for the internet to place inside its latest digital drama. Meanwhile, news surrounding Diddy's situation brought even more intensity to the online storm. Reports came out describing alleged incidents inside the facility where Diddy is being held, and suddenly social media exploded with talk that someone tried to harm him behind bars. These details came from legal discussions and commentary, not official public records, but once the story hit the internet, people ran with it like it was a movie plot. Folks started acting like Diddy was living a real-life thriller, with whispers claiming other inmates saw him as a target, even though lawyers were only speaking hypothetically about safety concerns that come with being a high-profile inmate. A correctional officer was credited in online stories with stepping in at the right moment to stop what was described as an attack attempt. And that single detail had YouTube creators making full breakdown videos like they were analyzing a crime documentary. Then another wave of reporting suggested Diddy didn't even want the incident talked about publicly, which gave the internet all the drama it needed to turn him into a figure hiding behind fear instead of power. Gene Deal chimed in again, repeating the claim that this wasn't the first time danger approached Diddy in custody, saying certain people inside the system might see him as some kind of trophy because of his fame. The online world took that line and turned it into a catchphrase, acting like Diddy was living through the plot of a suspense movie. Then someone online linked it back to Jay-Z out of nowhere, suggesting that if Diddy was dealing with threats, then Jay-Z should be nervous too, completely ignoring the fact that Jay-Z isn't facing charges, isn't behind bars, and isn't connected to those incidents in any official way. But the internet loves a dramatic chain reaction. If one giant falls, the other must be next. It became less about truth and more about crafting the most thrilling storyline possible. Fans started bringing up old interviews where Ice Cube said he didn't believe Diddy's downfall was accidental, which added even more fuel to the conspiracy atmosphere. People began stitching clips together to form entire theories, none of them grounded in verified facts, but all of them sensational enough to go viral. Content creators started posting thumbnails with Jay-Z looking over his shoulder like he was running from invisible enemies, even though there's no evidence he has any real danger coming his way. This is how internet storms work. One real event mixes with old memories, misunderstood quotes, and dramatic exaggerations until the story grows so big that people can't tell what's real anymore. By the time the fourth round of rumors rolled in, Jay-Z's name was trending for things he never said, never did, and was never proven to be connected to. But the internet had already built its narrative, and once the narrative snowballs, it doesn't stop easily. As the chaos kept growing, the internet created one final twist, tying everything together, claiming Jay-Z was running scared because Diddy's situation proved nobody in the industry is untouchable anymore. Again, none of this comes from verified reports. It's just social media users imagining scenes like they're writing a streaming service drama series. But once a rumor sounds cinematic enough, people repeat it without question. Gene Deal's interviews kept circulating, allowing users to chop clips into dramatic montages that made every line sound like a confession or warning, even if he was just sharing old memories. Online creators stitched together stories about old business deals, rumors about industry politics, and stories from decades ago, turning them into one giant narrative that paints Jay-Z as the next big target of some invisible force. People forget that Jay-Z is living freely, building businesses, and attending events, while the internet writes him into a thriller he never auditioned for. But that's how the digital age works. One sensational headline becomes a snowball rolling downhill, picking up every rumor, every misunderstanding, and every old quote it touches. Then came the most dramatic claim floating around, that someone is cleaning house in entertainment and taking down powerful names one by one. The internet turned this vague idea into a full-blown storyline, acting like Jay-Z was in the crosshairs even though nothing credible supports that idea. Some creators even edited clips of different legal cases together, making it look like they were connected, even though the events had nothing to do with each other. Even Diddy's legal team discussing safety concerns in court got twisted into evidence that a bigger plot was running in the shadows. This wasn't journalism, it was digital fiction dressed up as breaking news. People reacted emotionally, not logically, and when emotions take over, rumors become oversized monsters. Gene Deal's memories of the past kept feeding the algorithm because people love hearing stories involving legendary artists, old beefs, and behind-the-curtain moments from hip-hop's golden eras. But even Gene emphasized multiple times that many things he speaks on are his recollections, not official documents, and still the internet stretched every word into something massive. At the end of the day, the truth is simple. Jay-Z isn't confirmed to be facing any legal danger. There's no evidence he's being targeted, and most of the current drama came from a mix of old stories resurfacing and the internet's love for making everything bigger, darker, and more dramatic than reality. Social media turned scattered rumors into a blockbuster that never existed, all because a few viral clips hit the right emotional buttons. Still, the story blew up because fans crave suspense, mystery, and powerful names in trouble. It's entertainment, even when it pretends to be news. And as long as Jay-Z remains one of the biggest names in the culture, the internet will keep creating dramatic sagas around him, whether they're true or not. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories just like this.